In this video for the section 8.2 activity, we're going to find terms of an arithmetic sequence. In the next video, we will find the sum of terms of an arithmetic sequence. So what is an arithmetic sequence? An arithmetic sequence is a sequence where each term differs from the term before it by a constant amount. Or another way of saying this is that we add the same number each time to the previous term to get the next term. We could also be adding a negative number here, or subtracting, and that would make my sequence of terms be decreasing. So let's look at example 1. We want to write the first 6 terms of the arithmetic sequence with a1 equals negative 7 and d equals 4. So my a1 is my first term, so that is negative 7, and I want to add 4 to each term to get the next term. So my first term is negative 7. To get my second term, I would do negative 7 plus 4, which is negative 3. To get the next term, I would add 4 to negative 3 and get 1. Then my next term is going to be 5, followed by 9, and finally my sixth term is 13. So I'm adding 4 each time to get the next term. Notice that this is a recursive process because I'm taking my previous term and adding something to it to get the next term. I could also have an explicit formula for an arithmetic sequence, which looks like this. Notice that this formula has n in it, so I can plug in the term number that I want to find any term. So we're going to find the 50th term when a1 is 7 and d is 5. So I'm going to plug in to this formula, a1, n, and d. So a sub 50 is going to equal a1, which is 7, plus 50 is n, 50 minus 1, times d, which is 5. Now let's figure out what that's going to be. So we're going to have 7 plus 49 times 5. And I know that 49 times 5 is 245, or I can use a calculator. And 7 plus 245 is 252. So that's going to be my 50th term. I could also find the 50th term by writing out all of the terms, starting with 7 and adding 5 each time. That would take a lot longer. So for this next problem, we have the arithmetic sequence 1, 5, 9, 13, etc. So first we want to identify a1 and d. a1 is our first term. So all we have to do is look at the list of numbers there and identify the first one. So that's going to be 1. To calculate d, we can look at how the sequence is changing as we go from term to term. And we should find it constant because we are adding or subtracting the same number each time since it's an arithmetic sequence. I could tell by looking at this that I am adding 4 each time to get the next term. So d is going to be positive 4. If my sequence were going down and the numbers were getting smaller, then it would be a negative number for d. Now we're going to use our answers to write a formula for the general term of the sequence. So I have my value for a1 and I have my value for d. I'm going to plug those into this formula to get a formula that has n in it. So we're going to have an equals a1, which is 1, plus n minus 1 times d, which is 4. Now I'm going to simplify this a little bit by distributing the 4 into the set of parentheses. Normally the 4 would be in front of the parentheses. This one it looks a little bit different, but it's the same idea. So we have 1 plus 4n minus 4. And finally, we can combine the 1 and minus 4 to get 4n minus 3, or negative 3 plus 4n, however you want to write it. Finally, we're going to use our answer to number 4 to find the 20th term of the sequence. So since I want to find the 20th term, I'm going to plug into the formula. So I'm going to get a sub 20, the 20th term, and I'm going to do 4 times 20 minus 3. So if I plug that in, I get 80 minus 3, which is 77. So 77 is going to be the 20th term of the sequence.